Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Organic Agriculture webinar series. Today we have Mr. Chathura Abeyratne with us. Chathura is an organic processor and an exporter. Welcome to the program, Chathura.
Thank you very
Let's
much.
start a small brief introduction of yourself.
Right. After 2000, by about 2010, I finished my degree, and then my father said, "Why don't you join the family business now?"
Okay.
So in 2011, I joined the family business, and when I was doing the family business, I further did my masters at University of California, and also I am part qualified in both CIMA and SIM. So that's basically my education background.
Right. And Chathura, you have several organizations, right? Not only your father's organization. Let's talk about that as well.
My father initially started the business in 1993
Yeah.
by the name of Orient Trading Company. We started that company as a trading company mainly. We were doing we were buying and selling. So until about 1998, we were doing that, and then we expanded into exporting into mainly we were initially doing Middle East and countries such as India, Pakistan. Then we shifted into European market slowly.
Yes.
And by the time of 2014, there was a lot of competition selling to India, Pakistan and UAE. So we wanted to add some more value. And since our name was Orient Trading, customers were thinking all the time, it's a trading company, so why do you want to buy from a trader?
Yes.
So therefore we established in 2014, we established Joint Agri Products.
Yes.
That was our main idea, was to do products which are fit for the EU market.
Okay.
As in when you are shipping to EU countries, there are certain standards that you have to meet. So it's mainly not the same quality as you are shipping to other countries. So in 2014 we established that, especially to export spices such as nutmegs, mace, cinnamon, etc. And by coincidence, towards late 2014, we got an inquiry from one of our customers, European customers, and they wanted to try out some organic products.
Yes.
So we didn't have, we don't know about organic. I tried somewhere in 2013. There was some discussion that some exporters, Sri Lanka, we have been exporting organic since, I think, way before 1990s.
Yes.
When we started in around 2014, at that time there was few shippers already shipping to EU organic products, but not much, not like this now.
Right.
There was a demand, but not a lot of people knew, especially in Sri Lanka,
Yes.
the goods were, there's a market out there.
Yes.
So we also didn't know. We didn't know the market, that there was an organic market. So I said we didn't have anything and we didn't have knowledge, but I said, it's fine, we can offer.
Yeah.
And then we started looking into how to ship an organic product.
Right.
So then I started calling, from the internet, checked, and there was a certification body called Control Union.
Yes.
So I made a call to Control Union. I said, I want to ship organic. How can I do?
Yeah.
Then they said, there are a few ways. I said, tell me the shortest.
Yes. So Chathura, as you explained, when you started your interest in organic agriculture exports, you really didn't have an idea of how to go about that. And then you contacted the Control Union and asked help from them. Can you take us through that experience?
Yes, I called Control Union and asked that we have an inquiry from one of our customers and we want to start organic. And my city, she was my first certifier, Tilini from country didn't answer the phone, and she said, you can get, but it takes up to 3 years. I said, 3 years is a bit too much, and I want to get it soon because my customer is asking the goods next week. So I said, tell me the shortest route, and then she said, then you can be certified as a processor and an exporter, and you can buy from a certified producer. Yes. So as at today, we are still only a processor and an exporter, and we don't produce. We are buying from our producers, that is Small Organic Farmers Association.
Yes.
And she said, you can contact them, and you can see if they are willing to supply you.
Right. So that is your basically your supply base.
Yeah.
And then recently you started another company.
That is in 2018. Since we were established, we were slowly getting established in the EU market, and so we were getting inquiries for a wider product range. So tea was an opportunity because Small Organic Farmers Association, they were anyway producing organic teas, and then in 2018 we started a new company called Ethical Teas Private Limited.
Chathura, what are your major markets and major product categories? So where do you export mostly to?
We are mostly exporting to countries such as US, also Canada, Japan, and also EU countries such as Germany, France, Netherlands, etc.
Right. And what are the major products?
Major products, we are actually doing few product categories. We are mainly doing spices, which is our core business.
Right.
And we are doing teas.
Right.
We are doing dehydrated fruits.
Right.
We are doing coconut products and essential oils.
Right. And in terms of processing,
yeah.
What do you offer where most of the other processors can't offer?
We are catering the EU market, and we look at what mainly we look at what others find it difficult to cater.
Yeah.
Such as we are offering end product which is fit for the European industry,
right.
Food processing industry. So
right.
these most of the time these foods what we are exporting are used in the industry. Like in Sri Lanka, we at home we cook our meals. So in Europe mainly, those are most of them are semi-processed
right.
goods. So what we do is we are shipping products which are fit for the direct usage.
Right.
So for that we are doing steam sterilized products which they can just open the bag and
right.
and use for their ingredients, blends, etc.
Right. Chathura, how would you see the international demand for organic agriculture products?
Demand, I would say, over the last 3 decades, it has been increasing every year. If you look at America and Canada, at least the demand is getting increased by 15 to 20% every year. But when you look at Europe, that is also about a good 10% of increase every year.
Yeah.
Especially after COVID, we see there's an increased demand for organic products.
Yes.
And on top of that, when you talk with regular Europeans and regular Americans, what they think is, they are now spending their money when they are 65, 70 years old for their health care.
Right.
So what they are looking at is, what they're saying is, the same amount of money you spend now and you eat healthy food.
Yes.
And you can save on for later.
Right.
And you can have a good healthy life. So,
right.
So they are willing to pay that extra 15-20% or maybe 30% to consume organic products.
Right.
So that they can have a better healthy life.
Right.
When they are older.
Right. So there's an increasing demand, and as well as there's an increasing willingness to pay from the
yes.
consumer side as well.
Yeah.
So you have the international demand, right? Now, do you see Sri Lanka is getting ready for that? I mean, do we have the capacity to cater this market?
It's a good question. It can be a yes and a no both.
Okay.
As a country, compared to other countries, we are producing. We are having a limited production. when it comes to spices, let's say for an example, let's say pepper, we are not even producing 10% of world demand.
Right.
So what we can do is we can make Sri Lanka an organic nation.
Right.
That is where we have to go.
Yes.
But that is not a, you can't do it next year.
Yeah.
It will take some time. It will take
Right.
10, 15, 20 years to convert.
Right.
Sri Lanka we have some very good products. And compared to other countries, like cinnamon, we have the world's best cinnamon.
Of course.
We produce more than 90% of world's cinnamon demand.
Yes.
And even if you take for an example pepper, Sri Lankan pepper has the highest piperine and volatile oil content.
Yes.
No other pepper in the world
Right.
has this piperine and volatile oil.
Right.
So there are good products which Sri Lanka can offer. At the same time, our yield is less compared to other countries.
Okay.
That is not because of we are not using anyway for spices and for coconuts, etc. We use very, farmers don't need to use any pesticides.
Yeah.
These are naturally grown.
Yes.
You use natural fertilizers.
Right.
But when it comes to countries such as Vietnam, from 1 acre they get a crop of about 1,000 kilos of pepper.
Right.
But when it comes to Sri Lanka, from 1 acre we are only getting about 300 to 400 kilos.
Right.
When it comes to cashew, Vietnam is getting about 3,000 kilos for 1 hectare, where Sri Lanka is getting about 300,
Right.
only about 1/10.
So we are basically below the average levels.
Yeah, below the average, and we have to find ways to increase the productivity. From one acre of land, there are ways, and other countries are adapting to that, but we are not going for any new techniques, and we are not trying to increase the productivity.
Right.
So if we can increase the productivity easily,
Right.
our exports income to the country will also go up.
Right.
For that there are several research institutes, but I think there has to be some further developments in increasing the productivity.
Right. And just one more question I want to ask Chathura now. You probably have done your research on these as well. Now, apart from spices and tea, like conventional export products, what are the other upcoming ones that you see in the market?
Upcoming ones, there's a huge boom for herbs such as moringa. So there's a big demand coming up. And for some juices, now most people are moving away from carbonated drinks.
Yes.
So there are a lot of avenues when it comes to fruit drinks and natural drinks. So
yes.
There are many trends that we can adapt to.
Right. And Sri Lanka, of course, has the capacity to cater.
Sri Lanka, of course, has the capacity, and we have to do some innovative products.
Yes.
So here we are trying to always be in our comfort zone.
Right.
But we have to move out of our frame and need to look at it a new angle.
Right. Thank you. Now, Sri Lanka has the potential to cater the international market. But if you look at the European Union, we have been exporting to European Union for quite a lot of time. And how would you see our potential in catering the increasing demand in the European Union?
There's a good potential. As I said, every year there's an increased demand from Europe. And main thing is we have plenty of demand, and we have to make sure we produce the goods which complies into the EU market. And right now there are many organizations working towards it, and every year most of the time the EU laws are changing when it comes to organic agriculture. There are plenty of opportunities out there. There are sometimes the demand is there, but we are not able to meet the specifications. But as long as we can source the right product, it meets the European requirements. There are plenty of market out there which is untapped for all the product categories which are grown in Sri Lanka.
Now, Chathura, obviously you are a young entrepreneur, right? And what made you go for these organic agriculture exports?
One thing is the increased demand which we were having from Europe and US, and that's where you have the value addition. We didn't want to do the traditional exports because every time people can come and get into the regular export markets, which is easy. But here you need to do your research. You have to develop some products, you have to develop some contacts, and then you have to enter into new markets. So there were demand, and then we thought we wanted to, and in regular products it was becoming more and more difficult because of the competition. Right. So we wanted to differentiate from other companies, and then we moved on to organic products.
Right. Now, still you are a processor and an exporter. Let's talk about your supply chain a bit. So that means you have to have a good producer group. Let's talk about them.
We work with Small Organic Farmers Association. They are our producers mainly for our spices and teas. They are an organization more than 25 years old, and they have been producing quality organic products for the last 2 to 3 decades, and so far is the largest small organic farmer base which is in Sri Lanka. Right. And they consist of more than 3,500 farmers. Right. So we are supplying, we are getting the produce from them, and we have a very good partnership so far for the last 7 to 8 years.
Right. Now, I'm sure, Chathura, you had your fair share of challenges in establishing these farmer groups and doing processing and exporting. Let's talk about those some of the major challenges and how you overcome them.
Yeah. When it comes to field like this, main challenge is finding capital. These products are very, very expensive, and yes, we can't put everything from our pocket. It's not. Yes. It's simply not there.
Yeah.
So we wanted a lot of support from banks. So at the initial stages, the banks were not offering much support because they were always asking for collaterals.
Yes.
So but when the business was moving, and then we had support from many banks.
Right.
And we could get facilities without collateral. So that was one of the main challenges that we faced, because most important part is for a business like this, we need there's a very high requirement of working capital.
Yes.
So finding that is a challenge.
Right.
And also you have to do the sourcing at the right time.
That's right.
So because if we get a commitment from a customer, and if we don't, if we take an order, if the price is 500 rupees today, and even if the price goes to 1,500 rupees,
but still we have
to ship.
Yes.
So that's how we maintain the relationship with the customers. But there are times, for an example, about 7 months back, the close prices were around 900 rupees.
Right.
And today it's 2,000 rupees.
Right.
So
more than double.
So you have to do the sourcing at the right time. Right. And you have to be knowledgeable.
Right.
And you have to see where the markets are moving.
Right.
And you have to see what are the crop situations in other countries.
Right.
And based on that, you have to take calculated risks.
Right.
And you have to make your decisions.
Right. Chathura, getting all these certification must have been a very tedious process. How long did it take to get all these certifications?
Certifications we got over a few years, so it didn't come in 1 or 2 days.
Yes.
We first got our EU organic certificate in 2014, late 2014, and then we got the FSSC 22000 certification, and then we got one by one. So over, I think this year also last year also we got one more certification. So like once a year we got
A new certification.
and I think there'll be a few more coming.
A few more coming in the future.
Yes, because we have to always keep on changing. That is
Right.
one of the main
Right.
important things.
And you have to innovate.
You
yes.
have to innovate, and you have to keep up with the market.
Of
So
course.
we have to cater what customers want, and
Right.
there are different requirements, and based on that we have to be flexible.
Right. Good. Now, Chathura, even though you had a shorter time period, relative shorter time period as a processor and an exporter, during that time you have captured several major awards. Let's talk about them as well.
So in 2014 we started with spices, and then every 2 years we moved on to new areas. Like
Right.
in 2016 we started coconut, in
Right.
2018 we started dehydrated fruits, and in 2018 we started teas, and around 2019 we started essential oils. So we then moved on to different areas,
Right.
and we were also some products we were also learning,
Right.
and we had to get some experience.
Right. Chathura, let's talk about some of the major awards that you won last year.
Last year we won, that is for 2021. We got the award as the most outstanding exporter of the year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Awarded by the National Chamber of Exporters NCE Awards at Shangri-La, which was held last week.
Right.
Apart from that, we were also awarded as the largest exporter of organic products. We got the Gold Award, and we also got the largest exporter of spices and concentrates. That was we got a Silver Award, and also we got largest exporter of coconut-based products. That was also a Gold Award, and in 2021 we also got the award as the best tea exporter under SME category, that is for Ethical Teas Private Limited, after 3 years of incorporation.
So I assume as you move along to new products and be more innovative, there are going to be more awards for you.
Yes, hopefully. It's been challenging times, but the main thing is we have to face the challenges. It's not easy. Every day there are new challenges that we have to face. Every day there's a new problem. Every day we have to find a solution.
Right.
So at least 2 to 3 hours a day, what you do is solving the new challenges. Otherwise you can't move on.
Yes. Okay. Chathura, you had a very successful journey so far. Now there are a lot of youngsters who want to get into this sector. Now, what would be your advice for these youngsters?
My advice would be, you shouldn't be afraid, and you should always take calculated risks. And I have seen, and many people, and even sometimes, they want to get into the business, and they sometimes talk to me. The most common thing I have seen is, you plan too much. Sometimes when the plan is properly done, 2 years gone, and for those 2 years, you can do a lot of things. So you have to start at some point, whether it is correct or whether it is not correct. You have to just start, and you can slowly build up your experience, and thereafter you can grow. So you have to start at one point and take a calculated risk. And another main thing is you have to be an expert on what you are doing. You have to talk to people, you have to go to the fields, you have to talk with everyone, and you have to get a good experience and on what you can do, and thereafter you can start your own business.